Hello guys, this is Zuma and this is the second part of my history of gaming. And if you haven't seen the first episode, I'll leave an annotation on the screen so you can go back and look at that. It's a really good video and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. This is just a quick recap on the gameplay. As I said before, Black Ops was my first Call of Duty and this is me at 2 months into the game. And I'm playing Demolition solo and this is the deciding round. Right, now that's out of the way, from part 1 we just left the Dreamcast and now we start on my next console, which was the PS2. I got the PS2 when I was 16 and I just started college and was working part-time. But any spare time I had, I was literally on the PS2 all the time. And I played that many games on the PS2, I never used to buy them, I just used to rent them, complete them and then take them back. And this first game I actually rented and I think I completed in about 6 hours and then had to go out and buy myself a copy. And this game was Max Payne. And you've probably seen the film with Mark Wahlberg and that doesn't do the game justice at all. To be honest, the people who made that movie I don't think have ever even played the game. This was released in 2001, and if you don't know what Max Payne's about, basically you're a cop and some junkies break into your house and kill your wife and daughter, and then you just go out and kill everybody else. But the game was brought out around the time with the Matrix, you know, the bullet time and stuff, and this is what this game had. It was just busting into a room, 5 guys there, slowing down time and killing them all with shotguns, or dual Ingrams, I think dual Berettas as well was one of the guns. Oh, it was so much fun. And like at the end of a level, if you shot someone, it'd like slow down and the bullet would go in slow motion through someone's head or wherever you hit them. It was awesome. So it was a really good game. I remember me and my friends just putting this in and we're just chilling out and completing it in a night. I don't even want to know how many times I've completed it, but that's what this game was. You can just put it in. It was so easy to play. You could just complete it over and over, and it was just so much fun every time. Right, so that's the end of Max Payne. On to some other games. The next game that I'm going to mention is called Devil May Cry. Now, Devil May Cry came out around the exact same time as Max Payne. Came out in 2001 and I remember having these games at the same time. And Devil May Cry was another one of those games where you put your game into the PlayStation and you didn't stop playing it until you completed it. And if you don't know much about Devil May Cry, then I'll just explain it a little bit. You played the role of Dante, and Dante was half demon, half human. His father was this legendary demon warrior called Spada, and the demon emperor called Mundus, who's going to come back, and Dante, who is the son of Spada, is the only one who can kill him. And the lady who he's with now, called Trish, is just going to test him just to make sure he really is the son of Spada. So I'll just show you this intro.
Legendary Dark Knight Sparta. Didn't your daddy teach you how to use a sword?
Sword. Time to go to work, guys. Even as a child, I had powers. There's demonic blood in me.
What strength?
You were the first one to know about my vengeance. Looks like I'm getting closer.
And that's Dante, cocky and confident, but awesome. And the game played just like a hack and slash game where, you know, you try and kill as many demons as possible, and the more demons you're killing, like quick succession, and get those combos going, you get more of those red orbs, which later you can buy like weapon upgrades, better jumps, you can have more fighting techniques. And when your power bar like goes all the way up, you just can turn into this demon that just absolutely rips everyone apart. But the game was just so much fun, and not only that, the voice acting was really good, the graphics was amazing. It was just all around a great game, and if you've never played it before, there's actually a HD collection out. It's got Devil May Cry 2, Devil May Cry 3. That's out for the PS3 and Xbox 360. So I'd advise going back and giving them a go. And I just checked, and there's actually a new Devil May Cry coming out in January 2013. I think it's Dante's son. He looks a bit too corny for my liking, but I'll leave a link in the description, so if you're a fan of the series, go back, have a look at the trailer and let me know what you think. And that's it for Devil May Cry. Now, the next game I'm going to mention, it just makes me smile every time I think of it, like how much fun I had playing this game. And that was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. If I can think of a game that was just complete in every single way. And the Grand Theft Auto series as a whole, it's like you get so much for your money, it's ridiculous. Like, not only you got the main game, but you've got all the side quests, like all the hidden packages, all the unique jumps, all the properties to buy. And it's just, when you went to buy the game, the amount of content and hours that you had to play, you know, compared to other games, what you was getting for your money was just amazing. But I think what set it apart was how it just made you feel like you actually was in 1980s Miami, with the cars, the bikes, the dress code, and especially the soundtrack, which was just awesome. And forgetting forgetting about the actual main story, just riding the bike at sunset listening to some of the music was just really satisfying. But not only that, the actual voice acting as well, although it was a bit over the top, it was still entertaining and really drove the story mode forward.
Look at the arse on that.
Oh dear, how funny is Paul? So yeah, on the PS2, Vice City is definitely up there with one of the best games I've played. So that's the end of Vice City. And now the next game I'm going to mention is probably one of the greatest games I've ever played. And the main reason that is just because I've never played a game that's actually brought me into this whole new world. And I got so attached to all these characters. And this game is called Final Fantasy X. And this is probably one of the greatest games I've ever played, if not the greatest, and it just beats out Shadow of the Colossus. It's probably not the perfect game and there's parts in it which are questionable, but for me, this whole world and just each of the characters' story and how they're all been brought together and how they're all entwined with each other, it's just amazing. It's something I'd never seen before. But I used to love the turn-based attack system and picking which character is going to fight which kind of fiend. I used to go up and down the same path like 50 times just to keep fighting and just trying to build up my characters. It was ridiculous, and it was all in an effort to try and get your character the highest possible level on the sphere grid, just trying to unlock all those new attributes that made fighting a lot easier. And also the different Aeons where you go through the game and you could summon them at any point and they just come down and kick some ass when your players were struggling. And Blitzball, that was like a side game on itself. I must have sunk about 100 hours just into Blitzball alone. It's ridiculous how much I've played this game. But one thing that brought all these points together was the story and the cutscenes. And you've got to give Square Enix credit, because I don't know what kind of juice they was pulling to get this out of the PS2. It was amazing. And these awesome cutscenes wasn't that frequent, but when they came up you definitely paid attention just because of how much attention to details the developers put into them. Now with naming like Final Fantasy X like my favourite game, there's those people going to bring up other Final Fantasy games like Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy XII, and combined with Final Fantasy X, these three games are like what's generally thrown around as the best Final Fantasy games on the forums. And what I say is I wouldn't worry about like arguing with other people which game is best, as long as you had an awesome time playing it, and at that certain point in your life if that game meant something to you and just made you look at games in a whole new way, then just nothing else matters. Right, so that's the end of Final Fantasy X and the PS2. Now the next console that I'm going to mention is the Xbox, and I only got the Xbox for one game, and this game was called Fable. And the reason why I only got it for this one game is my friend mentioned a game where you started off as a little boy and going through the game each decision you made affected what kind of man you would become. And take this for example, you just caught a guy at the back of the house just talking to another woman and he's trying to tell you not to tell his wife, and he'll give you a gold coin if you keep quiet. So you can take the gold coin and get some bad karma, or you can go and find the wife and tell her that her husband is cheating on her.
Filthy layabout husband of mine. With some woman I don't doubt.
And these were only like the little starter missions. When the game progressed, the options get a lot more severe, and if you could choose to do a bad deed or a good deed. If you chose the good path, then your actual appearance would change, so your eyes would glow blue, you'll have a halo above your head and butterflies will swarm around you. When you go into a town, everyone will cheer your name and you become a hero. And on the flip side of that, if you choose to become evil, you'll be bald, you'll have horns, you'll have glowing red eyes. Like when you go into a town, people will scream and run away from you, but she sounds a bit excited for some reason. And if you were good or evil, you decided what kind of armour you could have. But generally both armour had the same stats I think, but the appearance was a lot different. I think just overall, just having that freedom was what made Fable really memorable to me. And when you complete it as a good character, you definitely have to go through it and complete it again as like the evil side, just to see the game from a different point of view. So that's Fable out of the way, and it's true that this was the only game I played on the Xbox. And that's because in 2005 I graduated and went straight to Spain and worked there for 2 years, and I just didn't have no interest in gaming at all. And when I moved back to England in 2007, I still didn't own a console until Christmas 2010, where my girlfriend bought me a PS3. I know, I have the best girlfriend ever. So I went 5 years without playing a game, but the game that came with the PS3 was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, and that was the only game I played for a couple of months and actually got platinum on it. Yay! But all this time I was getting pestered off my little brother to play this game called Call of Duty Black Ops. So I went out and bought it, and I got it pretty cheap because the game had already been out for 5 months. And if you could have seen what I was like when I first started playing this game, you would have laughed your ass off. I was horrible. I remember going into a Black Ops game and there was my brother and his friend in a party with me. So there was 3 of us and we entered a team deathmatch game. And obviously we was in blue because we was in a party, and on the radar there was green and red. I thought it was like this 3-way TDM game, so I'm shooting at the blue guys, I'm shooting at the green guys, I'm shooting at the red guys, but I didn't really see them because I was just dying too fast. But don't forget, in my defense, if you haven't seen part 1 of this history of gaming, Unreal Tournament was my last first person shooter that I played, which was in 2001. This is March 2011, 10 years I haven't played a first person shooter. And then I started playing Team Deathmatch on my own, and after a couple of weeks I was managing to break even, like going 10-10. And then after a month, those old GoldenEye Twitch reflex must have started coming back. So I started to go like 22-10, 25-2. It started to become where I was carrying my team. But although I was getting good scores, I wasn't winning, and it took about another month of this before I was getting a little bit frustrated. So I thought I need to go out there and find some kind of clan where I can join, and then together we can guarantee those wins. But I wasn't the best at the game, and the gameplay you're watching now is just before I joined a clan. So I went out there trying to search for a clan that didn't have any KDI requirements, and I put into Google PS3 clans, and I found an amazing clan which is now PS Nation. And I was a little bit worried when joining just because of my skill level, and it might be full of like really immature people, and lucky enough for me it was far from it. Using a headset and tactics and callouts just absolutely changed the way I looked at a game. I was getting so much better, and I started to have my own squad where I was teaching them how to improve their game. And that's the way it went on through the course of Black Ops until Modern Warfare 3 came out. And finally I knew I was on a level playing field, exactly the same as everybody else. And as soon as this game came out, I noticed I started to get a lot better, and then I tried to help myself by using the best guns I could and just improve and keep learning. And then after a while I started to think, wait a minute, if I've got this good in just a short space of time, maybe I can make a video and teach others out there how to improve their game. And that's what I did. I made a YouTube channel and posted a free-for-all Moab. And that's where we are now. I'm still in PS Nation 18 months later, just having an awesome group of guys to game with and just enjoying Call of Duty. But Modern Warfare 3 is running its course now for me, and I'm doing this free-for-all Moab series with different guns, you know, tips and tricks and spawn analysis. It's really keeping the game fresh for me just until Black Ops 2 comes out. And it's also going to be interesting for me to see how I progress onto the next Call of Duty, just because I have improved from one Call of Duty to the next. I'm wondering if I've peaked or I can still keep learning. We'll see, but I'm definitely going to carry on the free-for-all series into Black Ops 2 while the spawn analysis, and maybe do a road to Commander straight out of the bat. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. So we're just up to date now. That's PS3 and Modern Warfare 3 done. That is it. And if you're still watching now, then just thank you so much just for sticking around and bearing with me while I just go through all this gaming history of mine. And I really do hope you've enjoyed it and you're looking back, and there's hopefully some games in there that just brought back some good memories for you. And that's the end of this demolition game. The final score was 103-11, and that wasn't too bad, not using a chopper gunner. So although it was in the background, I hope you enjoyed it too. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching, and take care.